We're following breaking news of a deadly officer-involved shooting tonight. And officers tell us the man had a semi-automatic handgun, a gun officials believe was stolen 5 months ago, along with 500 rounds of ammunition. It happened around 3:30 this afternoon at the corner of 44th near Auer. Two officers stopped a car, but say the two men inside that car jumped out. A 24-year-old officer caught up with one of them, and that's when the assistant chief says the officer fired.
Our officers are out here taking risks on behalf of the community and making split-second decisions. In this case, our officers attempted to stop two young men. One was armed with a handgun. That officer had to make a split-second decision when the person confronted him with the handgun. This is a risk that they take every day on behalf of our community.
Dangerous protest is happening right now near 44th and Auer. Milwaukee police posted this picture on Twitter of a squad car with a broken windshield near Sherman and Auer. And here's a closer look at that photo of the smashed squad car. Police tell us another one of their vehicles was set on fire, and we are hearing reports that a gas station is on fire as well. And we are going to stay on this video just to show this to you, the flames coming from the gas station. And again, it is too dangerous for Milwaukee firefighters to get there because the Milwaukee Police Department is saying that there are gunshots being fired in that area. There you can see there's a map of all of the situations that we have going on right now.
Garbage cans on fire, a building on fire, crowds yelling at police, yelling at anyone who is driving by, throwing bricks at buses that are going through. Someone even stopped our car when they saw us shooting through the window inside our car because we did not want to get out of the car. They saw our car, they saw our camera, and they started knocking on the window and cursing at us and telling us to get out of their neighborhood.
We're right in the thick of things here at 35th and Burleigh. You can see the O'Reilly Auto Parts store completely engulfed in flames here behind me. Hundreds of people have gathered here tonight to protest that officer-involved shooting. Take me through what's going on right now.
Right now, you got a city riot going on because once again, the police has failed to protect us like they say they was going to do. They failed to be here for the people like they say they sworn in to do. You know, and us as a community, we're not going to protect ourselves. But if we don't have anyone to protect us, then this is what you get. You know, you get riots. You got people out here going crazy. We losing loved ones every day to the people that's sworn in to protect us. It's other stuff that's going on out here, and you wonder why it's ISIS in America.
Sedan, certainly people upset here tonight, but we've got, innocent business owners who are now going up in flames. What's it going to take for you guys to be okay tonight and to stop this chaos?
It ain't me. It's not me. I'm going to let y'all know that now. It's not us guys neither. And I'm glad that y'all said that. It's not us. It's the police. This the madness that they spark up. This is what they encourage. This is what they provoke. This is what you get out of you taking a loved one from someone. This is what you get. You get a lot of people that's hurt, and they can't vent the right way. They can't no longer depend on the police to be here to protect us like they say they gonna do. So this is what you get. And no, it's not gonna end today. I can't tell you it's gonna end tomorrow. I don't know when it's gonna end. But it's for y'all to start. We're not the ones that's killing us. Y'all killing us. We can't make a change if y'all don't change.
All right, thank you, Senator. I appreciate you sharing that with us tonight.
Think about the neighborhoods that these situations are happening in. So collectively, we want to call on community members to please participate in restoring order.
This stop took place because two officers who were there to make sure that there was order in this neighborhood, and they felt there was suspicious activity going on. As it turned out, two individuals. The gun was a stolen gun. The officer didn't know it at the time, but there were 23 rounds in that gun.
As we make our way up 34th, you can see water pooling in the street as firefighters, paramedics, police try to battle these flames. And as you just saw, dozens of people here on the scene protesting that officer-involved shooting. See behind me, police in riot gear throughout this entire neighborhood, about a 6, 7, 8 block radius surrounded by officers wearing uniforms like this. They're trying to keep the peace here.
We do feel these images are important to bring to you so you get a true sense of what is going on at this hour in our city. And this goes beyond the city of Milwaukee, though, because Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputies, Waukesha County deputies are now being called in to assist Milwaukee.
Sarah and Amanda, and guys, what's the feeling here right now?
Just basically awestruck and amazement. I never thought I would see my own city in a state of unrest to potential riot, you know.
We're going to put resources in this budget. I'm on finance. We're going to put resources in this budget, and CBDG is going to work towards organizing this neighborhood.
Where do we go as a community from here? Do we continue with the inequities, the injustice, the unemployment, the undereducation that creates these byproducts that we see this evening? Do we continue that? And I thank you, Russell Stamper. I thank you for not letting us leave here without saying the truth.
So they're making sure that they are protected. Now, we did see some folks get into the back of what seems to be a squad car about 4 or 5 minutes ago.
Officers moving fluidly through the area, trying to keep peace on the streets. A lot of people standing around watching the situation now. Not so much yelling like we heard earlier, but I just spoke with an officer. I'm going to have our photojournalist swing to his left here and give you a live look at the scene. I just asked one of these officers, I said, you know, of course, without telling us too much, are we in a safe area right now? And he said, no, do not come this way. It's certainly an active situation behind them.
Live here in front of District 3 with Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm, who was not at the press conference earlier today because you were actually out on the scene in the community looking at what's happening here in Milwaukee. Talk about that.
Sure. So my investigators and myself responded to the officer-involved shooting earlier this afternoon, and we stayed there through early evening. Our responsibility is to make sure the proper resources are in place to conduct a thorough and independent investigation.
Michelle, I'm going to step out of the way so that you can kind of see the firefighters putting out this fire over here. You can still smell the smoke, the flames. They're trying to put all of this out.
Should note tonight there's also been a fair amount of damage up here on the north side. You can see this Taco Bell KFC restaurant where the window has been completely smashed in here on the outside of that restaurant.
This
appears to be
36
surveillance
Burleigh.
video.
Look at the people stumbling in.
Yeah, this appears to be surveillance video of people jumping there. It looks like they smashed the window.
Yeah, Michelle, all is calm here at this intersection at 35th Burleigh and Fond du Lac at this point, but we're getting our first look at some of the extensive damage that's happened here tonight. This is the Jet Beauty Supply store just across the street from that O'Reilly Auto Parts building that you saw on fire for much of the evening. And the damage to this Ma and Pop beauty shop is incredibly extensive. At least 9 windows completely busted out, including the front doors you're looking at. And we're going to step right through as we crunch glass on our way right up to these front doors. The smell of smoke still pouring out of this building, which appears to have been completely torched on the inside. You can see burn marks here along the door, glass fragments where this was smashed.
For now, though, we leave you with these thoughts: hope and optimism that the ugliness that we have seen transpire this past evening will be a learning experience for us all, but that it will just be in the grand scheme of things, just one explosion, one negative explosion that does not dictate where we go from here, and certainly doesn't taint our reputation as Milwaukee continues to work to improve police-community relations.
It's not the Milwaukee that anyone wants to see.
Participate in restoring order to these neighborhoods.
We losing loved ones every day to the people that's sworn in to protect us. So this is what you get.
We need to stand up to that.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this special newscast on the unrest in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty, along with Bill Walsh.
This, the scene around 10 o'clock last night, a BP gas station on Sherman and Burleigh engulfed in flames.
6 buildings were set on fire. The first, the BP gas station at Sherman and Burleigh. Not long after that, the O'Reilly Auto Parts on 35th and Fond du Lac went up in flames. So did the beauty shop across the street. There was smoke coming from the BMO Harris Bank on 36 and Fond du Lac.
Between last night and this morning, this gas station says it all. The charred, crumpled building on Sherman and Burleigh is a product of hundreds of people fueled by rage who took the gas station over, then burned it down.
Let's take a look at some more video. The crowds also set a car on fire near Sherman and Burleigh. You see the sedan parked on the side of the street in flames. Crowds of people across from the car, some cheering, some were actually dancing as well. A few minutes later, and that's all that's left of the car. You can see flames still burning, but for the most part, that car, just a shell, the windows and tires gone.
And more damage overnight. This is a bus stop that people destroyed.
Tension between MPD and the black community building, maybe not for months, but for years. For example, 2003, Curtis Harris got into a fight with a white police officer, rendered a quadriplegic. The officer left the force, was never criminally charged. The city gave a $3 million settlement to Harris in 2009. 2004, Frank Jude Jr. severely beaten by off-duty Milwaukee police officers. 3 police officers that were acquitted in state court, later convicted in federal court. Another officer pleaded guilty before the federal trial. Derek Williams, arrested in 2011 for an attempted robbery. Squad car video recorded Williams' final moments. He struggled to breathe while handcuffed into a backseat of a squad car. He could be seen in the video pleading for medical help. Earlier this month, exactly 5 years after his death, the family of Williams filed a federal lawsuit. And of course, in 2014, former MPD officer Christopher Manny shot and killed Dontre Hamilton at Red Arrow Park. No charges brought by the district attorney in that shooting, but Manny was fired from the police force. Months of protests followed. And the people who have already said that Milwaukee should have seen this coming can point to some statistics as evidence. A 2013 study from UW Milwaukee using census data shows that Wisconsin leads the nation in locking up African American men.
Bill, Jessica, we're here at 35th and Fond du Lac, where I'm walking on broken glass. It's all over the sidewalk as people driving up, walking up, are trying to get a look at this. This is the O'Reilly's Auto Parts store here on this corner where several buildings were set on fire between last night and this morning. You're getting a look inside of the store.
We have a peace rally happening at Sherman Park in just minutes. Maybe after all of this, we can find balance, equilibrium, and move on as a city and a community.
Milwaukee Police Chief Ed Flynn says 17 people were arrested last night, including 8 men for disorderly conduct. He says a 16-year-old girl was shot, but she is expected to be okay. 4 police officers were injured and they were treated and released. A female officer was hit by concrete. She got a concussion and needed stitches. He says 6 businesses again set on fire.
At 44th and Hour, a gas station at Sherman and Burleigh was destroyed by flames, and so are other businesses. The question now is, how do authorities keep this kind of devastation from happening again tonight?
Tonight, you'll see these 3 vehicles charred and its wheels popped, rubber destroyed in front of the BP here off of Burleigh. Just one of the spots burnt completely out from the inside.
This is right off of West Fond du Lac, and this building was on fire last night, the O'Reilly Auto Parts store. But this morning at their Sunday service, the Greater New Birth Church decided they were going to come out here and spread love. So I'm going to have Cole show you a little bit of what's going on with the camera. They just finished up their prayer service. They were singing, they were chanting.
With this community, talk to them and build with them in a positive way.
Now, Hamilton says he's not the only voice, and he's hoping the entire city will bring out their voices to bring some sort of change.
Meantime, we're learning more about what happened during the shooting. Milwaukee Police Chief Ed Flynn says 2 officers pulled Smith over because they thought his vehicle was behaving suspiciously, and he explains what he saw on the officer's body camera.
And I can tell you this event probably took 20 to 25 seconds. I mean, there was virtually no time between the officer unhooking his seat belt, turning on his body camera, getting out of the car, and immediately he was in a foot chase.
2 members of the CBS 58 family are okay tonight. They were attacked while trying to bring you pictures of the BP gas station fire at Sherman and Burleigh. Our cameras and our satellite backpacks that we use to bring you live reports nightly here on the news at 9 were stolen. A crew of about crowd of about a dozen people physically attacked our two-person team. One of them was sent to the hospital to be checked out. He was released this morning. Both are okay.